speed farming Paragon levels efficiently, blasting through Helltides with style, and besting all Tormented 4 content is what you want to do while not playing Spiritborn? Then this is the build for you. Welcome Blasters, I'm Mippy and this is my updated Dance of Knives Rogue Guide for Diablo 4's Season 6. After patch 2.02, Dance of Knives Victimize has received a gigantic nerf and has fallen out of favor. I updated the entire guide on day 1 after launch, and since then I have relentlessly refined a variant of Momentum Dance of Knives that feels good to play while still blasting through everything. Let's spin to win. So let's look at the optimal rotation for speed farming. We start out by using 2 potions to activate the Quark's Rune buff, then we activate Dark Shroud, then Shadow Imbuement, then we pre-stack Ashiara's Conjure Momentum with Blade Shift, use Concealment, and then Shadow's Clone, and then we start spinning. Concealment gives us a guaranteed critical strike and vulnerable on every enemy that we hit. Concealment also activates Aspect of Synergy and Dance Macabre. We need to keep spinning in big circles to keep out our charges with Dance of Knives. Do not spin on the same place and do not zigzag to make sure to not run out of charges. Our most important piece of gear for the Momentum Dance of Knives is Ashiara's Conjure. Ashiara provides us with a massive boost to Weapon Mastery, which is our main damaging passive, and allows us to increase our attack speed in Cap 2 up to 40%. Ashiara's, however, is not dynamically updating, so you need to snapshot it. This is usually done by starting our rotation with hitting enemies with Blade Shift 5 times, completing our rotation, and then having the bonus active for the entire duration of the Dance of Knives channel. For our second weapon, we're using Aspect of Star Shards. We are using Chance to Dance of Knives to deal double damage as tempers, and Cutthroat attack speed. We utilize Cutthroat attack speed here because attack speed scales the damage of Dance of Knives. It does not make us throw knives any faster, but it increases the base damage. Cutthroat attack speed is an attack speed cap 2. For speed farming, we use a dagger instead of a sword because we want to benefit from Weapon Mastery's bonus to healthy enemies, because when speed farming lower tier content, we are more likely to one-shot enemies. Important to note here is that we stack diamonds in our weapons to reach the 450% damage with ultimate skills to gain the maximum bonus from the No Witnesses legendary node. Once you have reached 450% through high enough glyphs and Paragon, you can use 2 emeralds in your crossbow and keep 2 diamonds in your dual-wielded weapons. On our crossbow we use Aspect of Synergy. This gives us a very big damage boost whenever we use a Subterfuge skill for our next agility skill. This bonus snapshots for the entire duration of Dance of Knives, so we try to use a Subterfuge skill like Concealment right before we activate our Dance of Knives channel. On our crossbow we want chance for Dance of Knives to deal double damage and damage per Dark Shroud Shadow as tempers. Damage per Dark Shroud Shadow is very strong because with 5 active shadows we gain a huge damage bonus. Damage on next attack after entering stealth only applies to the first hit, so we do not choose this option here. On our amulet we want Stone Vigor because it is a massive damage increase whenever we are at maximum momentum stacks. We want the Weapon Mastery passive to be the focus for our masterworking, utilize Ranks of Malice and Frigid Finesse. If you cannot find an amulet with those passives, Dexterity %, Movement Speed or Attack Speed are also a solid choice until you hit the given breakpoints. Damage per Dark Shroud Shadow here is again our temper of choice, and we temper total armor to reach the armor cap of 1000 in Torment 4. On our rings, we want to masterwork attack speed, because we want to reach 100% attack speed in cap 1. We also temper damage per Dark Shroud Shadow on one ring, and Dark Shroud cooldown reduction on both. Aspect of Clandestine gives us ranks to our agility and subterfuge skills, which boosts our offense through giving ranks to Dance of Knives, but also our defense through giving ranks to Dark Shroud and lowering our cooldown for Concealment. On our second ring, we temper Cutthroat attack speed, because we want to reach the attack speed cap in cap 2 as well, but we masterwork the regular attack speed. We are using Aspect of Retribution here to deal more damage against stunned or knocked down enemies. We stun enemies frequently through Fists of Fate or through drinking a potion with unstable elixirs. On the boots, we want ranks to Dance of Knives, which is our primary role here, and we want to masterwork it fully. Movement speed will help us to keep our charges up, and we want lightning resistance here to balance out our resistances. If you're wearing Tyrael's Might, you might want to have Dexterity here instead. We want Chance to Freeze to ensure all our enemies are frozen to activate the bonuses from Frigid Finesse, and temper movement speed here for more consistency. Aspect of Noxious Ice is very important here, because when we are using Poison Imbuement, we deal 40% increased poison damage to frozen enemies. This aspect specifically also applies to any poison damage and not only poison damage over time. So whenever we use Poison Imbuement on Dance of Knives, its damage type changes to poison and we benefit from Noxious Eyes. We want to have Armor Masterworked and Armor Tempered as well to reach the armor cap of 1000 in Torment 4. We use Frostbitten because we want to increase our damage against frozen or stunned enemies, which happens very often through Fists of Fate. Fists of Fate are the gloves of our choice. We want to masterwork attack speed as much as we can because we want to get closer to the 100% attack speed in Cap 1. The aspect roll on Fists of Fate is very important. We want to get it to 300% as close as we can. The least important roll on Fists of Fate is Critical Strike chance. We do automatically Critical Strike with every single hit anyway because we utilize the Concealment Snapshot. For the chest, we want to use Shroud of False Death. As of today, Shroud of False Death is still disabled. Until then, you can either use Tyrael's Smite to bolster up your defenses, or you can use a regular chest with the concussive aspect to ensure we deal more damage to dazed enemies and roll Dex, Max Life, and Dark Shroud ranks on it. You can also use the regular chest to solve any resistance or armor issues that you might face from lag in your other gear. For the helmet, we use Air of Perdition. This mythic helmet is the best slot choice and we want to masterwork like a hit chance here to increase our speed at which we stagger enemies. The 60% damage bonus is very helpful and we stock it in emeralds. If you do not have Air of Perdition, Call of the Nameless with greater affix trick attacks is also a solid choice. For our Runewords, we're using Back Yom. Back is activated whenever we travel 5 meters and invokes the Druid Petrify, which is an ultimate skill. We utilize this to activate our No Witnesses node from the Paragon and to gain the cooldown resets from Preparation. With how frequently we move with Dance of Knives, this is basically giving us 100% uptime on our No Witnesses node, which is a massive damage increase. On our pants, we're using the most important rune word, which is Yaks Quacks. We want to drink 2 healing potions to make our next skill spend all of our primary resource and increase our damage by 100%. This effect from the Quacks rune is snapshotable and is applied to the entire duration of the Dance of Knives channel. Let's take a look at our skill tree. We start off by putting points into Blade Shift and picking the Enhanced Blade Shift upgrade. We put 2 points into Stutter Step to gain more movement speed after critting. We put points into Sturdy for close damage reduction and Siphoning Strikes to have a reliable source of healing. We put 3 points into Rug for our defense and put 3 points in Weapon Mastery to massively increase our damage. And we pick up Trick Attacks and Unstable Elixirs and put maximum points into Dance of Knives as it is our main damaging skill. With Enhanced Dance of Knives, we gain 4 charges whenever we travel 30 meters. Disciplined Dance of Knives slows the enemies and has a chance to pierce. We pick up Concealment with Subverting Concealment, and Subverting Concealment here is very important because it makes our next attack a guaranteed critical strike and also applies vulnerable for 6 seconds. Because we use Subverting Concealment right before using Dance of Knives, our Dance of Knives will always be a guaranteed crit and make enemies vulnerable for the entire duration of the channel. The Snapshot is very important and you need to use Concealment right before Dance of Knives. We pick up Exploit and Malice for more damage, and put 5 points into Dark Shroud to bolster our defenses. Dark Shroud also gives us movement speed. In this build, we do not use Umbrus because we want to squeeze out as much damage as we can, so Dark Shroud is on our skill bar. You need to get into the habit of regularly pressing Dark Shroud and can also do so even when you are channeling Dance of Knives, as pressing Dark Shroud does not interrupt your channel at all. The same is true for Imbuments, and we pick up Poison Imbuement here to activate the synergies for Alchemical Advantage and the aspect of Noxious Eyes, and also gain the benefit from debilitating toxins, which make enemies deal 50% less damage. Frigid Finesse is a passive of our choice here, and we boost it even with our Amulet, because it increases the damage against frozen enemies massively. We freeze enemies regularly through Fists of Fate, and the chance to freeze tempers. We put 3 points into Impetus to increase our damage with agility skills, which Dance of Knives is one, and we pick up 5 points in Shadow Clone and the Prime Shadow Clone upgrade to make us unstoppable and stealthed. And 5 points in Shadow Clone here is very important to reduce its cooldown, and we use Shadow Clone to have a reliable source of unstoppable and to reset our cooldowns through preparation whenever we have to. We put up 1 point in Second Wind to gain access to the Haste passive, which gains us another 15% movement speed, which is very important to get us closer to the 200% movement speed cap. Our specialization of choice is Preparation. While we do not massively spend energy, although we do a little through the Quacked rune, it reduces our ultimate's cooldown by 5 seconds. The more important part for Preparation, though, is using an ultimate, like Shadow Clone, will reset all of our other cooldowns whenever we need them, and also grant us 15% damage reduction for 15 seconds. We gain this bonus through the Yom rune as well, whenever it's activated, Our channel clone is going to be our safety net for whenever our channel gets interrupted and we need to start our combo from new. The key passive here is momentum. Momentum is stacked up whenever we use a cutthroat skill. Blade Shift and Dance of Knives are both cutthroat skills. At the beginning of our rotation, we usually use Blade Shift to gain 10 stacks of momentum. Once you have 10 stacks of momentum, they will persist until you change the zone. So you do not need to use Blade Shift before every single rotation, only when your Ashiara stacks have dropped off, which do not persist until you change zone. Momentum gives us damage reduction, movement speed, and most importantly damage. Our mercenaries while speed farming are Subo and Variana. We use Subo for the Share and Drink passive to have a chance to drop a healing potion, which we need to activate the Yaks Quacks Runeword combo. Also, the lucky hit chance from Ambusher does help us against bosses. Variana as our reinforcement gives us attack speed. We get this bonus whenever we cast Concealment. To have a guided way through the Paragon progression, make sure to check out the written guide and use the Paragon slider to advance the Paragon board to find out which nodes to max. The shown Paragon board has 270 points spent. At the beginning, we focus on getting through the boards and activating all the glyph areas and legendary nodes. Once we have sufficient points, we can fill out the glyph areas more and pick up side magic nodes like maximum life and more aura resist if needed. On the Paragon, we will have Versatility on the starting board, Canny on Dance Macabre, Control on Exploit Weaknesses, Headhunter on Cheap Shot, and Devious on the Witnesses. On the starter board, we pick up all the maximum life and damage nodes and have Versatility socketed. We make our way into Dance Macabre, which is the first board of our choice, where we pick up the Dance Macabre legendary node, which gives us a damage bonus to our next skill after casting Immobility or Subterfuge skill. This node is why it is important to use Concealment right before Dance of Knives, because Concealment is a Subterfuge skill. We pick up a little bit of damage reduction on Ranger and Brawler, some aura resist to Skulker, and some max life through Acrobat. We pick up Canny for non-physical damage increases, and make our way into Exploit Weaknesses, where we socket in Control. Control is a great glyph to have because it increases our damage against frozen and stunned enemies, which happens very often. We make our way into the Exploit Weaknesses legendary node, for which we also stack a little bit of lucky hit chance to get our damage increase. We always make enemies vulnerable through snapshotting, subverting Concealment to Dance of Knives, and make our way down into Cheap Shot where we socket in Headhunter. We do not fill out all the nodes for Headhunter until we have reached a sufficiently high Paragon, and pick up the Cheap Shot legendary node that increases our damage against crowd-controlled enemies. Important to pick up here is also Safeguard for more damage reduction from release. And finally, our last board of choice is No Witnesses. We socket in Devious. This is important because we want to pick up as much ultimate damage as we can to gain the maximum bonus for No Witnesses, which is procced through the Petrify ultimate that we invoke from the Yom rune. Therefore, we also pick some more ultimate damage up here and attack speed for cap 1. How to not run out of charges with Dance of Knives. Dance of Knives restores a charge every 30 meter traveled. However, the game does not track distances very accurately. Consequently, you need to have at least 190% total movement speed. Buffs from the skill tree help a lot, especially stuff like Dark Shroud. You have to spin in big circles, and do not zigzag, and do not take sharp turns. If you adhere to these principles, you will not run out of charges as often. Momentum Dance of Knives utilizes a few snapshots to deal great damage. What are snapshots, you may ask yourself? Snapshotting means using a temporary buff for a longer duration. In our case, for the entire duration of our Dance of Knives channel. Most damage buffs are dynamically applied during the channel of Dance of Knives, and therefore only active for their respective duration. However, there are a few exceptions which you need to know. The Quark's Rune, Concealment, Critical Strike, and Vulnerable, which both activates Aspect of Synergy and Dance Macabre legendary node from the Paragon. A special case has to be made for Ashiara's and Alchemical Advantage. You need to pre-stack both to 5 to gain their benefit before starting your channel with Dance of Knives. These two buffs are not dynamically applied. Weapon Mastery applies the bonus twice if you wield 2 weapons of the same type, or gives each bonus once when using Mixed Wield. So, if you're using Dagger plus Dagger, this is mostly a speed farming combination and is used to have higher burst damage. Dagger and Sword can mostly be used for pits where you want more consistent damage output throughout the phases where enemies are not healthy or injured. Instead of making you throw knives faster, attack speed scales the base damage of Dance of Knives. So when you have 100% base damage with Dance of Knives and add 10% attack speed to it, your base damage will now be 110%. Adding more attack speed than the 2 attack speed caps of 100% in cap 1 and 100% in cap 2 does not seem to further increase the damage for Dance of Knives. If you are unsure about attack speed caps, refer to the attack speed section in the written guide. Alright blasters, that's it for this video. But if you want to see more Rogue stuff, then subscribe and check out my other videos or catch me live on twitch.tv/mibby. Peace.